While the leaders of NATO encounter on environment, they do so among warnings how the really next of the West Association is at share. But one little nationality is sure how amongst the decisions the summit conference will get is an invite for it to accede. Macedonia has achieved a transactions in NATO term Greece to open its way to affiliation of both of the War Association and the Europe Association. One day it changes its behalf to the Republic of Polar Macedonia. Entry negotiations can start. How will include to get location via a plebiscite and constitution changing in the ex-Yugoslavian Republic and by a parliament voice in neighboring Greece. In the instance of the EU, affiliation is a remote perspective. Serbia and Montenegro are lot future downward the way to entry, and they include been taking into account a goal day of 2025. But NATO is a various question. On the day how Macedonia and Greece signed the treaty on the behalf changing, Secretariat General Jens Stoltenberg was at first out of the blocks in his congratulations. The will set Skopje on its way to NATO affiliation and it will assist to unite world and sustainability through the broad West Balkans, he told. With later, the speech include quickly been transformed in activity. While Mr. Zaev attended NATO's Brussels staff at the end of recent monthly, Mr. Stoltenberg not just welcome him as my expensive boyfriend Zoran, but done it precise how NATO affiliation was all but affirmed, provided how Skopje and Athens could see the behalf change treaty above the link. The is an historical prospect that cannot be skipped, he told. NATO's doorway is outdoor, and you are now on the threshold. We wish to see you and yours nation at the cardiac of a steady, more democratic and successful area. And we will supporting thou. Mr. Stoltenberg added how he was really sure how NATO some members would endorse entry negotiations and how Polar Macedonia would accede the association as quickly as the domestic processes include been completed. The is piece of music to Skopje's ears. As a little, impoverished, landlocked nation in an historic stormy area, it is necessary all the allies it can receive. Little countries do not build the breeze, and the is a cute blustery time, she told. Time Macedonia has done precise its driving to accede NATO is not a go versus Russia, down there include been concerns during the association of Moscow widening its impact in the West Balkans. Ms. Sekaranska marked how Macedonia had already been the stakeholder of NATO intervene, for the 2001 rebellion by ethnical Albanian fighters. NATO brokered the ceasefire, guideline to the Ohrid Treaty that guarantee the rights of ethnical Albanian Macedonians and holds to the date. He's really a law regime to be crucial of NATO. But as countrymen of Macedonia we cherish their job. We are concerned on specific geopolitic tendencies. It was facilitating to schedule front a few year back. The is why we don't include the opulence of manufacturing mistakes, I don't trust NATO and the EU include it each. Reactions to the behalf changing and imminent NATO affiliation include been quite muted in Macedonia. Road parties include been noticeable by their lack, but protests include not obtained lot thrust each. The opposition VMRODPMNE side taken to rework Macedonia as the crib of civilization for its 10 years in by the government. And it has tested to depict the behalf treaty as a sail out. But the transactions in Greece acknowledges both of the human beings and tongue of the ex-Yugoslavian Republic as Makedonsky, and how has undertaken the breeze out of the nationalists' sails. An essential caution remnant. All depends on receive the transactions in Athens above the link. As Jens Stoltenberg sharpened out to his Makedonsky boyfriend, out of the completion of the treaty, yours nation cannot accede NATO in the predictable next. But the 1 week's invite of the association will add to the pulse house to break down via 3 many decades of stagnation.